Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Laura Mardonis from the Digital Chord Ringers and from musicbridge.world. I'm here today to bring you the second edition of Project Rose, which is a real-time online singing experience. So for the second time, we have gathered singers from around the world, hosted an audition, and selected two quartets out of these fabulous selections to represent barbershoppers in this experiment or in this showcase. So people who've never met before, who have never sung together before, from opposite ends of the world are going to get together now and perform a song for you. It's amazing. I am so thrilled to have them. Also, tonight we have established ensembles, people who have met before and sung together. We have a mini choir out of Seattle, and we have two quartets, barbershop quartets, and I have a very special treat for you guys towards the end of this showcase. We have a pure Jamulus ensemble who've never actually sung together real life, but they have tons of Jamulus experience. So I've brought them on here as well to inspire and show you the levels we can actually achieve singing together using this magnificent tool. If you don't know what Jamulus is, well, it is a free software that you can download online and you install it on your computer, be it a Windows PC, a Mac, a Macintosh app. Together using this magnificent tool. I can hear myself now. Okay, using a Mac or a Linux computer, you can use this tool to sing together. Basically, all you need is a headset and a microphone, like the one you have for your cell phone. But if you want to invest in cooler and more expensive stuff, you always can. All right, the only other condition to using this is that you're on a threaded internet connection, no Wi-Fi, and no Bluetooth. So I'm not going to go into the tech details, but if you look in the comments of this event or the description of this event, I have tons of useful links for you guys to find out more about Jamulus. Today, I want you as an audience to be very, very active. Participate through the comments. Type a lot of love and encouragement for all the performers here today, because this is a live performance. They're going to walk up on stage and sing for you. So please, even if they can't hear your applause, I will be reading the comments for them. So do send them your love and encouragement. And any questions you have, I'm going to take them on and try to answer them to the best of my abilities towards the end of the show. I'm not alone today. I have my wonderful co-hosts, Judy Portguy and Mo Field. Come on up on stage. Yay!
Hey, Laura.
I am going to adjust my jitter buffer in the meantime, because this is one of the things with live performances. You have a little thing to fix here in Jamulus, which is one of the advantages. If you have a little bit of jittery sound, you can't fix it. I have a director in my ear who's telling me things. He says much better in perfect British. Hi, Judy. Hi, Mo. How are you guys feeling?
Feeling great today, Laura. Excited to be here for Project Rose 2.
This is awesome. And my cats are apparently joining me today, too.
Well, your cat is a very accustomed performer, especially on World Jam. Anybody who regularly watches the World Jam live show on Saturdays will recognize that tail wagging.
They like to be the stars of the show.
Yeah. We lost your sound there, Mo, but I'm sure you just muted yourself.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I said, as soon as something's live, they like to be walking all over my desk. It's just the way it is. It's like they know.
Divas.
Absolutely.
Well, people who are not divas are our first performer. Here in this studio, I want to welcome in the very first quartet about to perform. I'm going to ask them to turn their videos on. And I'm going to ask them to step into the studio, into Studio 1, Rose 1. Here we go. We're missing one very key element to this team. Yes, here we have. We have the virtual jammers. Woohoo! Welcome. You are performing a very special song for us today. We have 3 Swedes and 1 person from Canada. And Lisa, please introduce the song for us.
Hi, everyone. So the song we're singing today is, adjusting my levels. The song we're singing today is Let There Be Peace on Earth. And sorry, I don't see my baritone over in rows 1. Eva, come on over.
Oh, you're right. I missed that I didn't see her. Let us go get her.
So this group was one of the groups that auditioned, right? Were put together through the
Yes.
audition process. Is that
Yes,
right?
exactly. They've never met in their entirety, although parts of the quartet have seen and sang together in other constellations. We have from Sweden Frida Öhman, Eva Karlsson, Tom Pessala, and in Canada, Vancouver? No.
Yes, area.
Vancouver, Lisa Hills. Thank you. We're going to walk off of the stage, Judy, Mo, and myself, and leave it to you.
Go get it.
All right. And let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace. Sorry, did we lose you?
Oh, wow, the joys of live performances. Yes, in Jamulus, you can mute yourself, and it's important to unmute yourself for the performance, so do over.
All right. It is like a live performance then. Start over again. All right. And all right. And let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father. Brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brothers in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Begin with me. Begin with me.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, and the sentiment is really important at these times. So thank you so much.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you, virtual jammers from Sweden and Canada. Good job, you guys. If for anybody joining in on the show right now, I am about to step into Facebook and social media to correct the link that was wrongly posted by a very incompetent admin person. I will fix that. Thank you so much. You can step off the stage now. Virtual jammers, good job.
Well done.
We are about to move into Studio 5, all the way over in Chicago. I am announcing this so that our director is able to move the whole kit and shebang on over there. So, moving over in a few seconds to the server called Rose 5. I'm getting a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
All right, so that's a lot cleaner here, I think.
And we are in Chicago. It's our kind of town, isn't it? I am hoping to see the next performing quartet, who are Christy and the Tenors. Turn your Zoom feeds on, everybody. Yay! Christy and the 3 Tenors. That's a fabulous name, and I really like it. And I'm going to ask Christy to explain. You're the bass.
I am the bass, and we're a quartet that's made up from members from New Brunswick, Ontario, British Columbia, and Georgia. And other than myself, the other 3 members are normally sing tenor in their regular ensembles, and 2 have switched parts for this event today.
That's a flexible kind of performer. Christy, speaking of being flexible, could you please adjust your jitter buffer a little bit? In Jamulus, hit the settings button, and then you can see in the middle where you have a jitter buffer, you want to increase that level a little bit. However, it's going to mean that your delay will increase a little bit. Oh my goodness. So be aware of that when you start singing, and you might need to adjust it. Give me some 1, 2, 3, please.
1, 2, 3.
It's a little bit better. Simon, my director, says it sounds good. So what piece are you guys performing, Christy?
We are performing It's the Music That Brings Us Together.
It certainly is. Judy Moe and I are going to mute ourselves and walk off the stage and leave it all to you guys.
Have a good time.
Enjoy.
fun.
It's the music that brings us together. It's the music that brings joy untold. Those sweet melodies, those grand harmonies, like the fire that burns in my soul. When storms roll around, when life brings us down, when trouble and strife come our way, it's the music that brings us together. But it's the friendships that make us stay, sharing music with friends fills our hearts with song. Each day.
Wow.
Yay! Wow,
was so
you guys. And for both of these performances, we're getting virtual claps and applauses coming in from YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
we
they're
have,
saying amazing. That was amazing. Very nice.
We are shooting upwards in the viewer numbers, and of course you will be able to watch this also in replay because this will be posted in the YouTube page. So don't worry if you've missed a few minutes in the beginning. Thank you so much, Christy and the 3 Tenors.
Well done, you guys.
Great job. Outstanding.
Thank you. In a few seconds, we will be walking on over to the next studio, which is in Seattle. We will be going to Studio Rose. But before we do that, a few words from Judy. The ensemble we're about to meet, Rose 3 is the studio we'll be going to.
Sure thing.
What are the ensemble we're about to meet?
Well, the next group is called Jammy Joy, and it's a smaller subset of a cappella joy chorus here in the Seattle area. It's a chorus that I sing with. And we have just recently started to get using Jamulus, a small group of us, sort of as a proof of concept. And so we've had a couple of rehearsals in this smaller ensemble, and they are very excited to be able to show you what can happen.
Excellent. So in a few seconds, we'll move over to the Seattle server in Studio Rose. So let's go on over there now. We are in Seattle, and we're going to ask the ensemble to turn your videos on. Come up on stage.
Yay, Jammy Joy! Very exciting.
Yay! Now, remember, unmute yourselves if you are muted. Remember to unmute yourselves in Jamulus. And I happen to know that Mindy is a pro at using Jamulus by now. Welcome back, Mindy. You were a member of the previous round of Rose. What was the name of your ensemble back then?
Jitter.
Yes. And as you know, that is something that we get very, very well acquainted with. We get friends with our jitter and know what to do about our jitters.
Yeah, so we've got 3 tenors, 3 leads, 3 baritones, and 2 basses representing today.
And I've given our director and sound engineer a crash course into the barbershop sound. But you guys, be nice if the sound isn't as perfectly barbershop cone as you're used to. There are practical reasons for it, but I'm pretty sure that A-Joy and the Jammy Joy chorus are going to be able to show us what it sounds like when you're starting off as a bigger ensemble. Right, gals? Yay! Take it away.
Have fun.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I just can't wait till you ride me in around.
You guys, that was so wonderful. How did that feel?
Awesome. It felt great.
Yeah, great to be singing together again, right?
So much fun.
Yeah, so there's lots of great comments coming in. Fantastic, doing great with the latency. Hello from San Antonio. LOL, Mindy the Pro.
Hooray, you guys.
You guys,
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to leave you in Jude and most capable hands. I'm going to walk on over ahead of y'all to the 4th server we're having set up now here in Seattle as well to highlight. But I want Judy and Mo to stick around for a minute and talk a little bit about the project and more, because I want to buy time to put out the proper link in the old YouTube place.
I already put it out on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the old YouTube event as well. So while you stall for time, I'm going to go do that, and I move myself over to the next server. We're going to go over to Rose 4 coming up. So
Excellent.
Good to know.
So yeah, Mo,
Yes, Judy.
how you doing?
I'm doing great. For those who don't know, Judy and I know how to stall for time, but we don't even have to stall for time because there's so much to talk about
Yeah.
Jamulus.
Absolutely. So Mo and I have been using Jamulus for band purposes. Actually,
other projects.
I started using Jamulus, getting involved in something called World Jam, because I started to learn how to play drums while we've been in lockdown. And we've been having this wonderful opportunity to rehearse using Jamulus, as well as perform live every Saturday on the World Jam. And Mo and I, along with a few others, had the opportunity just yesterday to play a couple of songs, and that was super fun, wasn't it, Mo?
It was super fun. I mean, Judy's on drums, which keeps a good beat going. And, you know, on Jamulus, sometimes you just have to have that one person that you glue to. So Judy's holding down the
They
rhythm.
glue to
and
me.
I'm playing bass and guitar
Stuck like
on top
glue.
of that.
Yeah, so, and we've started using this now, as we just said in the last group, with the Jammy Joy subset. And I know that Laura is going to be talking later about some of the fantastic stuff she's been doing and with running a chorus. And she actually, with Les Maurer, started this with the Digital Chord Ringers Facebook site, I think about a couple months ago, with the intent of spreading the word that Jamulus is a tool that we can all use as singers to try to get singing again, because we know we're tired of Zoom, aren't we, Mo?
Yeah, I definitely, you know, I spent a lot of time on Zoom with my chorus and with other choruses as well. And I'm sure you do as well, coaching. It's really, really gratifying to be able to hear live what's happening with another person. And latency is a bit of an issue. If you can find a good link in the latency, it's not a problem at all.
Okay, well, they're telling us that we can move on. So let's do that, because we definitely want to hear the next group. Here we go.
Here we go.
See you there.
See you there.
all right. Are we live? Yes. So while Judy and Mo beautifully managed to stall for time, I've gone into the old YouTube event, the live stream, updated with a link to the new one, and hopefully that'll help us to guide people to the right place, because apparently we had people just lining up like 2 blocks long, and then they realized they had to space themselves out. So the blocks turned into 6 blocks long line to come in, and they had nowhere to go. Let's hope they can find us now.
Right?
Yes, absolutely, because this is worth watching.
It is.
And anybody who's listening and watching, sometimes thinking, I see 3 people on screen, but I hear a 4th male voice. That is our director, Simon Tomlinson. Simon, say hi.
Okay, you now hear me.
Now we
Otherwise
can
they
hear
wouldn't
you.
normally hear me.
But occasionally your voice has come through. So
Simon says hi.
Simon says hi. All right, you can go back to hiding now. Thank you, Simon. I'm only addressing this because it has been mentioned in some comments I've been receiving. Anyways, thank you so much. Now, we're in Studio Rose 4. We're in Seattle, and we're about to welcome our next act on stage, Highlight Quartet.
All right.
Some more familiar faces.
How about them?
Represent from the Northwest.
Yes, and they're also members of Acapella Joy Chorus.
Ooh, taking the lead, are you?
Yes, but this quartet's been around now for, how long have you been around? Kat?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, so, and they're a lot of fun, and they've got a lot of personality.
And they're wearing matching sweaters and shirts.
So
That's-
coordinated.
Yeah,
Well-
Jamulus is getting fancy.
Bring on the beauty. Let's hear your song. What are you singing today? Asia, what are you singing?
We will be singing The Rainbow Connection.
Pretty. Suits you. Let's hear it.
Awesome, have fun.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
One, two, three. 1, 2. Do, 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 do.
when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. It's magic. And have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 dee la la do. La 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 la. Dee da do.
Oh,
was so
wow. Before I let you guys walk off the stage, I have to point out the very, very clever thing you did. When you counted in, this is something that you want to try out on Jamulus to get everybody well synced. You counted in a few bars before so that everybody can get the tempo in your bodies. That is such a pro thing to do when you're working with Jamulus. I so appreciate you did that.
And you're getting lots of love on YouTube comments. That
Yes.
was beautiful, great, yay, highlight. Hi, Claire, hi, Asia.
Clap, clap, clap.
Thank you so
Lots
much
of
for the
claps.
opportunity.
Thank you.
This was amazing. You sounded wonderful.
You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. We're about to walk into our fifth performing ensemble of the evening. And for this one, we're going to take a trip all the way over to Stockholm in Sweden. So in a few seconds, we're going to take that round the world trip from Seattle, across a continent and across a ocean. Here we go. So, and here we are. We are in Sweden, and it's no fun to just be standing around in a dark, empty room. So why don't you walk up on stage and get the stage lights and all the bright lights on, you guys? Welcome Beyond Quartet. Beyond.
My people.
How do you say that in Swedish?
Laura, can you
Mitt
please
folk.
turn my camera on?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second, please, Karin. I had to turn you off, and it was totally my decision, and I hope you can come on stage now. Yes, you are. Good job. Thank you for being so patient and waiting here in the dark, backstage, as it were. Beyond
friends.
Quartet, you're singing from Stockholm.
Yep.
Is this your first time on an international stage?
Nope. A virtual one, yes.
That's a virtual.
Indeed, it isn't. Well, first virtual stage, but you guys have been performing together before, right?
Yeah.
When were you guys formed, Karin?
When we were formed, 2018. In this format, and we went to St. Louis for the international stage there together.
Woo! Oh,
And
well,
how long have you been rehearsing with Jamulus?
Oh, only
This is
since
our third
October, yeah.
Yeah.
A third time.
Fantastic.
Are you noticing that you've been making improvements along the way?
Yes, you learn how to close your ears and not your ears, so
Yeah,
it's very hard.
Stop listening to yourself so much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and you need to be sort of slightly forward in your way of singing in order to get synced with the others. So always be sort of ahead of the group, which is a weird thing. Yeah.
I call it proactive instead of reactive,
Yes.
which is what baritones often like to do.
Hello,
It's in their nature. And if you know Rosie, you're correct.
a bass talking. I'm not listening to you, Judy.
Love you, Rosie.
well, let's have a listen when we're all on the same page and in sync. Let's have a listen to Beyond and what you have for us tonight.
All right.
All right.
Go have some fun. Show us how it's done.
En, två och en, två, tre. Never was a romance girl, but look at me now, right now. For I'm not the gal who cared about love, and I'm not the gal who cared about fortunes and such. Never cared much, but look at me now. Take a look at me now. I never knew the technique of kissing. I never knew the thrill I could get from your touch. I never knew much. Oh, look at me now. See me now. I'm a new girl, better than Cleopatra at her best. Oh, yeah, now with a new heart, brand new start. I'm so proud I'm busting my vest. Well, I am the gal who turned out a lover. I am the gal who laughed at those blue diamond rings. One of those things. So look at me now. Take a look at me now. I'm a new girl in a great big world. I never knew love was like this. Wow. With a new heart, a brand new start, I'm gonna seal it all with a kiss. Yeah, because I'm the kind of girl who turned out a lover. I am a gal who laughed at those diamond rings. It was one of those things, but look at me now. In love somehow. I wanna say, my baby, hey, look at me now. I don't know how I'm loving you now. Just look at me now.
You gotta be so
Wow.
careful not to blow your ears out, but man alive! Good
Hey,
job.
Sverige!
That was so good, so tight. You've only
Nice,
had a couple of
folks.
rehearsals? Like on Jamulus?
Three.
You've only had 3 rehearsals. That's amazing.
And you're taking to it like ducks to water. This is fantastic.
See, this is tech working at your advantage because
This
you brought
is.
on the click track, the metronome, even
Right.
that to get your tempo, always consistently working at the same one. I'm super impressed.
That's something that's something that you wish you had in the Jamulus, that you could actually put on a metronome, you know, to guide you.
good.
That would be great.
That's a nice thing
Attention.
to talk about.
Attention developers, because Jamulus is a free open source software, so anybody can really go in there and develop that functionality. Rosie, so if you got any kind of coding,
No, perfect. Get on it, Simon.
I can hear Simon. He's like, oh, wait, my head just exploded.
You've got a comment here. It says, Bra Joba.
Ooh,
Bra jobbat.
Was that anywhere remotely
Close.
was
close?
very good.
Very good.
pretty good,
Yes.
Judy. Yeah.
Lots of claps. Wow, great. So good. Super. Awesome.
Great job.
Oh, the claps are just rolling in. Thank you so much, Beyond. We're looking forward to hearing more from you, not just live and virtually, but also live and physically. We'll be catching you in any kind of way we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
All right.
Beyond. We're moving shortly into the back, actually, into our Rose One studio, because that's where I want to gather all of the coaches who've been participating in this event tonight and who've been coaching the ensembles you've just heard. So we're about to move into the Rose One, and I'm inviting all the coaches to join us there. And we are in Rose One, and I see all of my wonderful, lovely coaches coming back in here as well. You can turn your Zoom feed on. Rosie, you can walk off the stage. Thank you. And we have only coaches left in here. And the coaches we've heard this evening have been in the order of performance, I believe. Who went first?
Jana.
Jana Guttenson. And second out was Anne. Third ensemble out had Steve as a coach, and the fourth ones were Highlight, coached by Britt Hillian Bonnedal, and certainly not least we had Beyond being coached by Katie Taylor. So we have coaches here from Harmony Inc., Sweet Adelines, and BHS. Yes.
Full pull.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I prepped you guys because that's how you want to do things well in advance, prepare people. I have a few questions for our coaches tonight, and I'm hoping we'll get more questions coming in from the chat. Judy and Mo, are you guys covering the chat and see if we have any questions?
On it.
Awesome. All right. So the coaches have been asked a few questions. I'm going to start off with Jana and Anand with the first two ensembles. What's the most challenging part being a coach working on Jamulus? Jana, what do you think?
It was interesting, our ad-lib style of singing ballads is a little bit more challenging in this venue because you have to have some visual cue in order to rehearse any passages that are not in the beat. So I'd say that was the difficult moments when we were trying to change the interpretive plan.
How to handle it when you can't sync up visuals and
Yes.
rely on it as much.
Yep.
So Anne, what was your thoughts and reflections on this?
You're muted.
But you had very nice visuals.
Funny enough, I was going to say the challenge is the tech side of things because in addition to coaching the music, we're also coaching the delay, dealing with the latency. I mean, my group today, actually, the tenor, we found out after the first 2 or 3 minutes that her computer was causing something weird and she was hearing everything a semitone lower than what was being sung. So I was trying to correct a note error and I sang the note and she sang it back to me a semitone lower. So I tried again and the same thing happened. And then she played the note on her piano and realized that it happened. So dealing with the tech side, I mean, once we got the tech side, it was great, but it's just an additional level of things to think about as a coach, really.
Yeah. Well, hopefully most of the ensembles, when they finally do get to the point of getting a coach for their rehearsal and getting a coaching session, they might have sorted that out.
Yes.
But it is hysterical when that happens because the person sounds like a different person at all altogether. It's happened to us as well in the choir and in the different ensembles. It has to do with the sample rate, I believe, as a tip for anybody happening upon that in the future. Well, moving on then, I would like to ask Steve, what surprised you the most about working in this manner?
What was surprising is what really worked well for traditional rehearsals still really worked well in a virtual rehearsal. And there are a couple of things that I probably wouldn't have done in a actual rehearsal that I actually was helpful in a virtual rehearsal. For example, I'm not one that likes to do just a bunch of reps of the song because I don't think that that's necessarily as useful as pulling it apart and putting it all back together. But in this situation, reps in the song help them kind of feel the groove together. and so that was an interesting experience. But all the other rehearsal techniques that we have done before, those seemed to work really well. So that was I was happy to see that crossover.
So I'm hearing that you're not really losing a lot using Jamulus, but instead you're adding something to it.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. The lag, or the perception of lag, I think is even more important. That's something that certainly is a concern for everybody. But there was a moment where we thought that, oh, it was probably the lag in the basses or whatever it was, and they were pointing fingers at different sections, and it turns out we just actually needed to clean up the rhythm in an area, and then it turned out that was the actual reason. So
and everybody's nodding. Yeah. Okay. In that case, Brittillian, what do you think was the best part of being a member of this project? You're muted, my honey. You have to push your mute myself button in Jamulus. Oh no. Oh, there's another tech challenge for you. Let's ask Katie in the meanwhile while we see if Brittillian can get her sound back.
Sure. I feel like I was really lucky to have a quartet that already had experience with using Jamulus, and they already had kind of some ideas on how to overcome some things. And as you heard them perform, they chose a song that had some syncopation and rhythmic complexity. And so I was able to really work on a lot of that with them, which was great. They were super open to to really getting nitty gritty into those things, and because they were familiar with the program, they were able to do that. We cleaned up a lot. It was great fun.
So I think I figured out what Brittillian's issue is. She actually probably does have sound on, but she's in another room where she can still hear us. So Brittillian, if you wouldn't mind stepping into the Rose 1 server, you hit View and Connection Setup and find MB1 Rose 1, then you will find yourself in the company of all of us in here. So the setup for you guys who can't see us is that we have a monitor set up in the big room where everybody else is sitting out, and they can hear us. So we have a semi-sophisticated thing going on here, not quite as complex as on the World Jam shows. But now we have Brittillian. Hi, Brittillian. Now we can hear you.
Welcome back.
Hi. It's fun when you ask me what was most fun.
This is fun.
This is fun.
This was fun.
I heard you perfectly well.
Yeah, you were sitting in there with a monitor. So
well,
what did you enjoy?
I was out for a few minutes, and so, well, the most fun thing I think it is this connection over the whole globe, to have the possibility to to connect with each other and so on. Even if I've been coaching on Jamulus quartets here close to me, so to speak, and that is so much easier because the delay is so little. But this and these four gorgeous girls were just so receptive and tried out everything so well. So I think it was pure joy.
Fantastic, Brittillian. Thank you so much. And that is one of the points we want to make with this tool, that this is a good way of bringing us together now, but it's also a good tool moving forward to help us hone our abilities as performers, as singers. Did you say something about that, Judy and Mo, before, when you were stalling?
Yes, no, but that's a great point, Lara. Well done for bringing that up. I just wanted to echo a couple of things that the coaches said. There's definitely a learning curve to it, but once you get used to what you're listening for and attempting to do, I think that there's so much we can do that will help us for the after times. You know, developing new skills, particularly the listening skills, and stop listening to ourselves as performers. And these are all things, like Steve said, we would work on as performers and coach if we were all in the same room. So the concepts are the same, it's just a different medium, and it's brilliant.
Imagine being able to coach quartets and ensembles and choirs without having to spend all that time traveling and all that money and all that pollution. I'm just saving the world one step at a time
There
here.
is also that. You know, the other thing about Jamulus and having to force ourselves to use our ears in different ways, we often stick to our own lanes when we're singing this particular style of music, and allowing our ears to really function in a couple of ways. One, where we're responsible to ourselves as vocalists, and the other where we let enough space for ourselves to be informed by somebody else. As long as somebody in the group, we're all like, okay, this is our keystone here, and it doesn't have to be the lead, it could be the bass or the baritone or whoever has that central delay. It might be the person that you listen to, so that you can then start feeding into that one global aspect and listen a little bit less to self. Trust the technique will show up, you know, and move on from there. But the other thing about Jamulus, which is super, super cool, not only does it help us with our ears, to start using our ears, but even after we are able to get back together again, I'm sure we're going to be creating a lot more opportunity for ourselves to be more efficient with our learning,
Certainly.
duetting, getting things together before we show up to our rehearsals, so that we can really make the most out of that time.
Yes.
Singer driven.
So we are now actually going to show you another example of what it can sound like when a larger ensemble is singing. We had the Jammy Joy here. Another chorus that's been experimenting and getting on board with Jamulus is the Running a Show chorus. And some of you might have already seen a clip that I posted with my social media team of this choir when we, for the very first time, tried out Jamulus. So fortunately, that happened to be the one day we had a beatboxer in to teach us a little bit about it. So we had a beat to go with one of the songs we performed, but we hadn't really rehearsed in a long while. We haven't touched that song since February last time. And this is the first time we sang this song. Let's see if my director can put it on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was running a show chorus, and one of the things I'm so looking forward to is the day when we can welcome guests onto our virtual rehearsals, and when I, as a barbershopper, can travel the world virtually and visit all of those wonderful choruses around the world that I've always wanted to sing with.
It's fun.
It is something I regularly do. If I'm traveling, if I'm on vacation, the place I am visiting, I find the barbershop chorus and attend their rehearsals if the schedules allow it. Imagine being able to do that. I was also
I think Judy and I can.
So you guys, the evening isn't over yet. We have one last treat for you guys, and I want to welcome up on stage the Tulips from IKEA. Yay! Yay! Vocal ensemble from Sweden and the Netherlands, as represented by the iconic Tulip and, of course, IKEA. My director Simon is especially enamored with IKEA today, so it's very fitting that you guys are with us. I brought you on because you have been working with Jamulus since when, Hans?
I think it was last May. That we found out about
since forever.
That we found out about Jamulus, and let me
half
tell
a
you
year.
something. I really cried when we started together the first time. It was amazing.
The
I had a tear like, oh, it
really works.
The first time you ring a chord on Jamulus is
It's
really
magic.
mind-blowing. It's magic. And Lena, what are you singing for us today?
Today we are singing Isn't She Lovely? Stevie Wonder's a super hit.
Take it away, guys.
Yeah.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than what we made of. I never thought true love would be making one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angel's best. Boy, I'm so happy. Oh, we have been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done. Through us, He's given life to us. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Lovely. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute.
I can't believe what God has done. Through us, He's given life to one.
So very lovely, made from love.
Lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely.
Oh, people, it's so lovely to be with you tonight. After all these lovely choruses, quartets, barbershop quartets, it's really an honor to end this show with us. And I would like to introduce the band. Our tenor is Hans, wave Hans. Our bass is Joachim. And our soprano is Lena. And are the Tulips from Ikea, and you can find us on Facebook. And we're heading to the end of the song. Lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, so lovely, lovely, so lovely, so.
All right.
Wow! And I love that you dealt with the introductions properly. Thank you, Emily May. Very nicely done.
Great job,
Very
everybody.
pro.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for capping off the performances of this evening. We are closing in on the end of the hour that we had set aside, and we have not received any very major technical questions from what I can tell in the chat. How is it looking?
There were some questions, and they've been referred to checking out the Digital Chord Ringers Facebook page, where there is a lot of technical information. And by the way, so much love and amazing comments about that last performance. Sorry, Laura, I just had to say that. That was incredible.
Just plain super. And Astrid, I've got one very big smile on my face. This makes me so happy. And is that not the point of music and the making of it?
It is, yes.
So let me just highlight a few things technique-wise. I mean, you need to have a wired connection and you need a computer to install it. But basically, that's all the requirements you have. Now, the benefits for any musical leader is that you'll be able to really be able to hear each and every single performer in your ensemble. You'll be able to group them and listen to a few people a little bit louder than the others. You can't really do that in a live setting, can you? So there are so many things you can explore and figure out as a musical leader, and we'll be digging more into these topics in future events. None are planned at the moment, and we're always looking for more talented coaches and performers to sign up and help us.
I have to laugh at that a little bit, Laura, because you're like, you just can't do that in a live setting. Have you ever wanted to turn to that tenor beside you and say, would you just like a little song? Well, this is your chance. And you don't even have to hurt their feelings.
Turn down a little. No,
you can stroke their ego and turn them down at the same time. It's amazing.
No, if you're an ensemble looking to onboard if you're a leader and you want to onboard your ensemble, you have to keep track of a few things. It's one thing as an individual to get started on Jamulus. It's quite simple. But if you want to onboard your entire chorus, the larger the chorus, the more challenges you will be facing, and I want you to be aware of them. You need to solve the question of server management. Every person has to be able to install the software on their computer. What happens if they don't have that and if they don't have internet? You have to be able to troubleshoot the different various setups and teach everybody how to manage their gain and the levels and mixing and how to handle everybody else and how to manage peaks and so on. And video, if you're using a video conferencing system together with this, they will try to steal your Jamulus mic from you. There are a lot of challenges. If you want to do this but don't want to spend time and effort, you can always buy yourself free of this because there is a startup, and here's my shameless plug. Musicbridge.world can help you address all of those issues with a very low-tech solution, a simple box and 2 cables and you're it, and a headset. So with that box and an online platform that will be so simple to use for all your members. So everything we've talked about today, you can do it on your own. You need no one. But if you need assistance, you can always turn to musicbridge.world. All right? And that is the ending of this. Judy and Mo, thank you so much for being here. Tulips from Ikea and all of the other ensembles. Highlight, Jammy Joy Beyond, and the Virtual Jammers, and the Christy and the 3 Tenors. Thank you so much,
Thanks
everybody,
out
for being
there.
here today. And all of our fabulous coaches. Mwah.